Hey, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen, everyone. Wow, big show for you today. Thanks for joining me. But today I hope you're all having a Memorial Day weekend that's a little bit more exciting than Joe Biden's bedtime, right? Memorial Day, it's a special time of year when we remember those who fought for our freedom. And also, this is the unofficial start of summer when we can finally show off all the weight we gained during quarantine, right? Now, Memorial Day is like a patriotic version of The Hangover. We start off with good intentions to honor the fallen heroes and somehow end up with regrettable decisions like buying a used car, trying to fit into a Speedo. But let's not forget the true meaning of Memorial Day. It's about honoring the brave men and women who sacrificed everything for our country, while also dodging mattress sale commercials every 5 seconds. I mean, seriously, I've seen more ads for mattresses this weekend than I've seen politicians promising change, and we all know how that goes, right? And speaking of sales, did you see the discounts on patio furniture? It's like our fallen soldiers are looking down from heaven going, wow, thanks for remembering us with those amazing savings on outdoor sectionals. Who needs eternal reward when you can get a waterproof sofa for half the price? Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the other real heroes of Memorial Day, the backyard grill masters. It's the only time of year when we can collectively say, hey, let's light something on fire to honor the troops. But it's not all about barbecues and sales. Memorial Day is also a time to remember the military families who make sacrifices every day. They endure long deployments, miss birthdays, constant fear that their loved ones might come home with a souvenir from the Middle East. It's not a fridge magnet. Let's give it up for the family, for the military spouses who have to master the art of keeping it together while their partner's off fighting war. So as we wrap up this Memorial Day weekend, let's remember to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. And maybe next year we can resist the urge to turn it into a shopping extravaganza. But because when it comes to honoring our fallen heroes, the best deal we can give them is to never forget their sacrifice. And maybe we can avoid sending them out there in the first place. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on! Okay, thank you for joining me, everyone, on this Memorial Day. Did not get invited to a barbecue myself. What is up with that? I need some of you people that watch the show to move to Portland to then host a Memorial Day party and invite me to it, because now I'm stuck out. It's just me and coconut. I got a steak ready that I'll be grilling up, but it's a little bit more fun with more people. Oh yeah, and just looking at the comments, hey, if you happen to be watching the show for the first time, because whatever reason the universe brought you to this program, you're so lucky, because chances are it won't happen again. So be sure to hit that like button. You can do it. And subscribe to the channel. You're going to want to come back for more awesome shows like this. Or if you happen to hate it, you can hate watch the show. That's totally allowed as well. But yeah, today's Memorial Day. And, you know, the biggest thing on Memorial Day is kind of how I ended the monologue there. I think the best way that we can honor people. Sorry about that. Did not turn on Do Not Disturb on my phone. But I think the best way that we can honor troops and honor people that have given their lives to fight for this country is to make sure that we don't send them out there if we don't have to, if it's unnecessary. All of these wars that are, let's just say that there may be various reasons for them to happen. It's such a serious thing that we really need to consider the reasons that we send people to fight in wars. Yeah. And I think that that's the best thing that we can do to honor them, is to question sending people out there. That's my take. That's my take. But I'll be reading all your comments, and I'll be reading your comments in the after show as well. Stick around after I do a couple stories. I'll play some goodbye music, and then I'll go through all of your comments. So that's great. Now, some people are saying that there's no smiley face icon next to where you post your messages. Well, I'm looking at Rumble on the desktop, and there's definitely the little smiley face where you can get the custom emotes and everything. I guess I need to have a walkthrough. I'll try to do a walkthrough and do it on my phone and show you how I do it. So I'll be doing that this week. I'll do a custom how to watch the show and participate live. I'll do that later this week. But we got a number of stories to get to today. And the first one is about Kevin McCarthy kind of being a dick. Here we go. Breaking news. Kevin McCarthy's officially declared himself Minister of Laughter with the latest comedic routine on Fox News. Get ready for the side-splitting hilarity of making struggling Americans work for food. I mean, forget stand-up comedians. McCarthy's got us rolling on the floor with his work requirements. It's like he's auditioning to be the next America's Got Talent judge, but instead of a buzzer, he just yells, "Get a job!" And his budget cuts for the CDC's global health plan, that's comedy gold. Who needs boring stuff like preventing diseases when you can just let them roam free? Spice up our lives. McCarthy's a comedic genius, folks. Someone needs to give him his own Comedy Central special before he quits politics to pursue his true calling. Yeah. So, I know I'm exaggerating a bit, but House Speaker Kevin McCarthy boasted on Fox News about a tentative agreement on the debt ceiling that include work requirements for Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, SNAP recipients. The deal raises the work age requirements to 54, with exceptions for veterans and others. McCarthy also highlighted cutting the CDC's Global Health Fund, despite concerns. Critics argue the work requirements may save money, but question the impact and consequences. So here's the specifics of what he put in there. SNAP is food stamps, right? And it's supplemental, and it's supplemental based on how much money you make. And it is set up to help people that lost their job, they're transitioning, they're trying to get a new job. And he put on work requirements of 20 hours a week to be able to get the food stamps. And this is for people 50 to 54. It was raised. So, in a way, it's an easy political move to do because there's not a whole lot of people that are 50 to 54 that are struggling. This isn't going to affect that many people, and the people that it affects probably aren't voting anyway. So what does Kevin McCarthy care about them, right? But I can just tell you this from personal experience. Like, I got a buddy who's between the ages of 50 and 54. And he's really trying to work. He's actually employed by 3 different places, and they've got him filling in, subbing for when people don't show up. So he doesn't know if he's going to work, but sometimes he'll get a call. Hey, so-and-so called in sick. Can you show up today? And he's doing that. And I see him apply to jobs. And some weeks, he's working a good amount, and other weeks he's not getting those 20 hours required for food stamps. But to then turn around and say, that $120 or whatever you were getting a month to eat, we're going to make it a lot harder for you to get that $120. You're going to have to prove that you worked 20 hours each week. And if you didn't work 20 hours, we're going to take it away. Does this help anything? Does this help with the incentives? Because I'm seeing him work, really try. He's really trying to have a full-time job. I have another buddy, not quite yet 50, but he's working for several different places, filling in as a temp employee. But he's not getting 20 hours of work either. And I think that this is really misguided. If you're trying to save money, there's a lot of other waste out there than going after people that are really trying to make it, really trying to work. I understand a work requirement. And I think if you are receiving benefits, if the thing is, well, we need you to do something, we need you to work some hours or do some volunteer work, I can understand that. But raising it to 20 hours is really tough for a lot of people. And I understand. I mean, there's a lot of people that are working 60 hours a week. But guess what? I would say you're lucky, because I know a lot of people here in Portland that are actually trying to work full time, and they're not able to make it happen, and perhaps that's because they've made poor choices throughout their life. That's why they're at this situation that they're at. But punishing them because they're not getting enough calls, to me, I think we can do better than that. That's my take. But the great thing about my audience and this channel is you definitely don't have to agree with me. And I understand other points of view on this as well. So if you have another point of view, you can leave it in the comments. Your opinion's welcome here. And just because I have this opinion today doesn't mean that I'll have this opinion tomorrow. Because I really am open to changing my mind on things. And I think that that's one of the best thing that's happened for me making this channel, is it's really got me to question my own ideas on why I think certain things. Why do you believe what you believe? It is like an ongoing self-examination that I have when I'm writing these scripts for this program. So yeah, personally, I think Kevin McCarthy's just being a dick. And I think 20 hours requirement, I understand it. But in the real world, a lot of people that are promised jobs and they go through training processes. I know people that have gone through, and they've gone through like 6 weeks trainings for things. And then they say, well, we only got 12 hours a week for you. Yeah, that happens. Well, you shouldn't punish those people that are trying and working 12 hours, trying to get on full time. I don't know. But time to go international. 'Cause 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 '
Aftershow.
Guess what? Lukashenko is turning international politics into a twisted version of The Price is Right. Step right up, folks. Join the Union State of Russia, and you could be the lucky winner of your very own nuclear weapon. Forget about those boring consolation prizes like a year's supply of canned peaches and a mini fridge. Lukashenko's thinking big. It's like he's saying, hey, if you're going to go big, go radioactive. And, but wait, there's more. Join up with Russia. Not only do you get your own nukes, but you get a year's supply of vodka and frozen fish. So I'm talking about Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko. And he stated that countries willing to join the Union State of Russia and Belarus will receive nuclear weapons. This comes after confirmation of a transfer of tactical nukes from Moscow to Minsk. Lukashenko's comments have raised concerns about global proliferation, especially as Russia threatens Ukraine. The deployment of Russian tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus has faced strong condemnation from the United States and European Union and opposition leaders in Belarus. The specifics of the transfer and the types of weapons involved remain unknown. So, is this Ukraine conflict, is it going the way anyone wants it to go? Not me. You know, as a 80s kid, right? Or 70s kid, 80s kid, I don't know. There was a, you know, the biggest thing that we had to worry about was nuclear war. That was the big thing. And that was the thing we wanted to avoid at all costs. That's the big one. And now it's as if all of our leaders don't even see that as a possibility, and they're not even trying to avoid a nuclear conflict. To me, that's the biggest issue in the world today. It's not climate change. It's not, I don't know, other things that are probably conspiratorial. No, the biggest threat to mankind is nuclear war. We should be trying to avoid that at all costs. And yeah, Belarus has turned around and said, hey, who's with us? You'll get your own nukes. Does that sound like a good idea? It doesn't sound like a good idea to me at all. I mean, if I were an African country, I would be like, oh yeah, we're with Russia. Send us a nuke. We want some power as well. That may happen. This should be the biggest news in the world. But let me know in the comments if you've heard about this story before watching my show today. I think it should be the biggest news this weekend. But you haven't heard it, have you? It's not on MSNBC. It's not on the front page of the New York Times. They got some other things to talk about, I guess. Anyway, I got a story for you this time about south of the border. Okay, did you hear about the leaked document? Dun, dun, dun. Showing how the U.S. government has frustration with Mexico's social spending. It's like a bad Tinder date between the two countries. The U.S. is like, hey, Mexico, let's talk about the war on drugs and migration. And Mexico's like, sorry, I'm busy building infrastructure and helping my own people. It's like the U.S. wanted a hot fling with Mexico, but Mexico said, no, thanks. I'm looking for a long-term commitment with my citizens. And I guess you could say Mexico swiped left on the U.S.'s priorities. So here's the deal. A leaked document reveals that U.S. government is frustrated with Mexican President López Obrador prioritizing social spending and infrastructure projects over addressing issues important to the U.S., such as the war on drugs and migration. López Obrador's budget for 2023 focuses on social programs and infrastructure in southern Mexico. And while he has limited security collaboration with the U.S., he continues to cooperate on migration. The U.S. wants Mexico to take a more aggressive measure against criminal organizations, particularly in combating fentanyl trafficking. López Obrador reduced U.S. security involvement in Mexico and increased the power of the armed forces. Now, violence in Mexico remains high, partly due to arms trafficking from the U.S. So, again, this is one of those cases that I am kind of impressed by the president of Mexico standing up to the U.S. and prioritizing his own country over his neighbor to the north. It's something that I would like to see Joe Biden do. You know, prioritize the people that live here in the U.S. We're not seeing a whole lot of that. We're prioritizing people that want to come to the U.S., and we're prioritizing people, prioritizing things over in Eastern Europe. Yeah. So I'm impressed by AMLO, president of Mexico, and it's a big deal to try to take care of your own people, have social programs, especially in southern Mexico, where there's a lot of poverty. You know, honestly, this could be a real benefit to the U.S. as well. If he prioritizes social spending on people, they're much less likely then to try to cross the border into the U.S. Yeah. So also recently, AMLO did call out USAID. He wants it out of his country and does not like the involvement of, secret CIA missions inside Mexico. He's against that, and he's called it out. And I support that as well. Anyway, so that is some news. It's always interesting to see the leaked document, because the leaked document, often you can find out how people really think. And it's good to hear how people really think sometimes. But now, I guess we need some good news on this Memorial Day. So I'm going to talk about vacation. And you know, folks, they did a survey on what makes a vacation truly memorable for young people. Turns out it's a recipe for the ultimate adventure cocktail. You just take a group of friends, add a dash of some new experiences, sprinkle in some unexpected twists, and voila, you've got yourself a vacation that's worth remembering. But here's the thing. They've even measured it down to a science. They want you to step out of your comfort zone at least 4 times. Meet 3 new people and try 3 new dishes. I mean, talk about a vacation checklist. It's like they're turning Wanderlust into a rigorous academic course. But aren't the best vacations the ones that can't be formulaically replicated? Ditch the calculation. Embrace the unpredictable, because that's where the real adventure begins. So here was the study. It was a survey of 2,000 travelers between 18 and 34, and they revealed a memorable vacation for younger people, including traveling with a group, trying new things, doing something unexpected, stepping out of your comfort zone, making new friends, trying local dishes. Those were all important. Get this, capturing 45 photos and 15 videos was considered essential. So you can put that on your to-do list. The survey highlighted the desire to make every moment count due to work pressure, with some willing to quit their jobs for meaningful trips. Spontaneous and imperfect moments were deemed the most memorable. Key vacation moments included watching sunrises and sunsets, funny events stepping out of your comfort zone, and trying local food. So I do like that they tried to break this down and give you a list of the things that you want to do on your vacation. It's hard to put on your to-do list, though, have something unexpected happen today that's really humorous. You know, that doesn't really cut it. But have you been thinking about a vacation? I've been thinking about my vacation. I think I'm going to go in the fall. I prefer going in the fall because the weather in Portland is so beautiful during the summer and it's so awful the rest of the year that I don't want to leave when the weather's perfect. You know, I'll save some gray sky days for when I will take off on my vacation. Actually, coming this week, I'm going to have some more details about how you can plan your next vacation and maybe get, maybe it can be almost free. Yeah, I'm going to make a video about that, about how I did my trip last year, where I traveled to Colombia and to Mexico. I was gone over a month and paid for all my air travel with points. It's a pretty cool thing. So I'll tell you about that later this week. But that's all I have for you today on this Memorial Day. It's a beautiful day here in Portland. I think I'm going to go for a bike ride, maybe out to Boring, Oregon. It's an actual town, Boring. They got a little winery and brewery out there I like. But I think that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. Come on back and grill some meats. Why not? I hope that you are doing something equally as awesome, hopefully more awesome than what I'm doing. Stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments, and I'll be back tomorrow. But I hope you all have a beautiful day. Peace. Here we are. On the chat over on Rumble. Thanks for checking in on Rumble. Duggo's over there. Libwing of Libwing says hi. Rev68. I'm waiting for the news clip from today where Biden claims his son died in Iraq. Yeah, he's made that error several times. I mean, we all know, if you are a reasonable person and you've been paying attention at all, that Joe Biden does have some issues with his brain, his memory. And yeah, he keeps repeating the fact that his kid died in Iraq when that wasn't the case. I don't know why his handlers aren't making him stop repeating that, because it's really embarrassing that he keeps doing that. But I don't want to dunk on Biden for not being all there. I think the bigger problem is not Biden, right? The bigger problem is the people that allow Biden to do that. So, again, okay, so Miranda says that she's on her iPhone. She's not seeing the little emotes on Rumble. I will work. I have an old iPhone as well, so I'll pull up my iPhone, put Rumble on it, and I'll make a video on that this week. I'll sort it out. Look at the Moon says works on Android, but then Rumble usually shuts down on me and I have to go back to YouTube. There's a lot of things. I was watching some live streams yesterday on Twitch, and Twitch kept having problems. They kept shutting down, having to reload. So that's the thing. More and more people are live streaming, and so They just got to work that out. Let's see. Rev68 says, is Russia handing out nuclear vessels as well? Yeah, R.I.P. Anton Yelchin. Well, the nuclear weapons are from Russia that they moved to Belarus, and then the leader of Belarus said that he's going to pass them out to anyone that wants them, that wants to join their alliance. So, yikes. We could see a lot more countries have nuclear weapons thanks to this conflict. That, yeah, anyway. Let's see. Come to the U.S., where we can inadvertently help you leave this world via fentanyl. Pretty much. I'm glad with Mexico's move to put his people first. Hopefully he gets to stick around, because foreign leaders usually listen to the U.S. so that their own people don't suddenly revolt against them. Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with AMLO as a leader of Mexico. Obviously, I don't agree with all the things that he's doing, but he is definitely pushing back against being a total U.S. puppet, which many leaders in Latin America do. And they do it for good reason, because if you don't become a U.S. puppet, often you seem to get some democracy, if you know what I mean. Look at the Moon says, Rumble worked better today. Seems they both can't work well for me at the same time. That's true. I see text for icons like torch between colons. Okay. In the comments. Well, I'll just have to check that out, Miranda. I'll have to check out how all these work on different things. I do have an Android. I do have an iPhone. So I will try them on both and maybe film it and share that with you. That's a good thing, because I need to actually know how all this works. So, yeah. Miranda's checking in. Bastille Longborough. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Well, happy Memorial Day to you as well. Glad to see you. Jesse's checking in. Miranda says, I have no loved ones that died in war. I have loved ones who died, and some of those loved ones were in war but came home. Strictly, this day isn't for me to remember them, but to honor and love. But I will anyway. Nicely said. Nicely said. Bastille, I see you got the cheeseburger and the drumstick emoji. Where are you at? Because I want to come join that party. That's where I want to come join that party right now. That's I got to visit some veterans from Normandy a few years ago, says Natasha. They were at the DFW airport as a stopover going to Normandy for a reunion. It was very emotional for me. Yeah, that can be, I can see that being very emotional. I'm not being emotional. I think I swallowed my mocha wrong. I can imagine my dad was part of Overlord. Okay. I could only picture the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan and imagine the PTSD those guys must have suffered over the years. Bastille Longborough says, I created a Rumble account. Well, that is good. If you need to create a Rumble account, there's a link in the description of the video. Just click on that and sign up. So glad you're over there, Bastille. Yay, made it. Day off. Hi, Tom. Hi, chat. Well, Erie Fairy, good to see you on this beautiful Monday. Erie Fairy says, vacation? What's that? And bombs of democracy, LOL. Thanks, Tom. Well, thank you. Thank you. So anyway, that's the show today. Hey, if the algorithm gave you this show for the first time, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. There's a chance the algorithm's never going to show you this show again unless you do that. And that'd be a real shame, because sometimes the show's actually pretty good. Anyway, I hope you all have a beautiful day. I'll see you back mañana, noon Pacific, with another show and let you know what's going on in the world. But until then, love you. Peace.